Hey guys, so I'm kind of starting this channel as the way to talk about doing what I'm doing, changing myself or whatnot, getting healthier, getting smaller, getting stronger, the whole 9 yards. Um, just give you guys a little bit of background to what's going on with me and what led me to this, where I'm at. Um, January 2nd, 2016, I made a decision to walk into the gym for the last time. It's kind of like a Hail Mary. Um, what led me to that decision was started back in the summer of 15. I happened to come across a job that was a once in a lifetime thing. And I got the call at the end of December saying that they wanted to move forward with me. And so I said at that point I couldn't do the job that I wanted to do. The uh, Being the weight that I was, mind you, I was over 330 pounds. When I got that call, I'd given up on life, everything. Just kind of waiting for that heart attack to come at 33, which is sad to say, but that's where I was at because I had a really rough time. Got divorced in 2014. Um, Started seeing someone, of course, that, no excuse to that, but I got kicked while I was down, and when you get kicked like that in the heart, emotionally, it's a lot harder to come back from. You just kind of give up. Unemployed, couldn't find work. I was unemployed for 8 months, which sure didn't help with the depression that led that too. Um, so I found work, started, you know, slowly being able to pay. Ended up having to got into some financial troubles because I was laid off and divorced. Um, so I had to deal with some legal issues. In addition to that, I didn't feel like I could catch a break. And so I'd given up. I found a job. I started seeing this girl who became my wife last year, actually. She really helped me through a lot of it. But the thing was that I wasn't quite there. And I had this, she has a son, my stepson. And he slowly started to look up to me. He looks up to me a lot. And for me, I didn't really grasp it. I didn't understand why, because I wasn't the guy that she thought I was. I wasn't the guy I thought I was. Excuse me. So, with that being said, um, like I said, I got this call for this job that was really awesome. It was once a lifetime deal. So I started moving forward with it and started working out because I made that decision. Um, and I wanted to lose the weight. I wanted to come off. And the only picture I have of myself was when we were on vacation in November of 2016 with me and my stepson standing side by side. And I am huge. Like, I didn't realize it. And I felt like shit. I felt miserable. I felt embarrassed about myself that I let myself get that big. Um, so that's where I was at with that. And I wasn't happy at all. Um, Even with the positive relationships that had come into my life that had started to shape me back to being positive. That road was so long, I didn't even realize it was happening. Right? So, okay. So, at that point, January 2nd, 2016, I walked in, weighing over 330 pounds, decided to make a change in my life, and didn't know if I could. But I knew that I had one or two options if I wanted to lose the weight off. I was either A, going to do it the right way, dieting, exercising, or B, I was going to have to look at surgery. And I'm not a fan of surgeries. Um, Being that I have had some health issues growing up, my whole life, I didn't want to do that route. Like, I'm an asthmatic. Like, that's the last thing I want to do is surgery. growing up, I had, I was being pumped full of medications for this, that, and the other because I was always sick. Um, I could never run. Um, so I've kind of been, I'm kind of gun shy when it comes to hospitals and doctors now. Like, I don't like going to them because I went to them for so much, for so much when I was so young, because I had this issue with my health that I couldn't keep in check because I didn't know anything, and it was really bad. And thank God for the doctors, man, because they saved my life on numerous occasions. Um, but it wasn't until I got older that I could start mitigating it to myself. I made some bad life choices that I'm paying for, but I'm making good life choices now, and that's a huge deal. So what I did when I walked to the gym is I started going to the gym 3 days a week. Um, and I didn't know much about outside of working out. Like I would get other people, I would go online and I would look at other people that I see. I'd follow a bunch of people, and I'd see what they would be doing on their workouts, and I'd write that down, and I'd keep a journal of what the workouts I would do, and I knew the 6 to 8 week window was about when I needed to change it up. So I found something that worked, that was working, and so I'd write it down and I'd try it out, and I'd see it be doing great. I knew I needed to do cardio, but I wasn't sure how much or what kind, or 6 out of one after the other. I knew I had to warm up. Like I was pretty basic stuff. I've been in and out of the gym since I was in high school. I really enjoyed it in high school, but I didn't have great teachers in high school. It's really not hard to give good information to students at that age, and that's when you should do it, on how to be healthy and athletic. You're teaching kids to be athletes. Teach them to be athletes. Teach them how the right way of doing things. Teach them what a diet actually is, not a fad to lose weight quick, but it's a way of life. It's a changing the way you eat. It's changing what you eat, what you put in your body. That's something I didn't know. Like I had an idea, but I'm not an idiot. But it's surprising the amount of people that don't know that. For me, the hard part wasn't going to the gym. It wasn't changing the way I eat. For me, it was getting to the gym and sticking with the routines. And the big one was after I lost the first 20 pounds, was about when my workout ended. So I changed my workout routine. It was like March. I hit 310 pounds. And at 310 pounds, I was feeling great. I was feeling fantastic. I was king of the world. My life, my mental outlook had started changing myself. And I said, I've been drinking these protein shakes after my gym workout. Because I knew I needed protein after my workout. I didn't understand why. Like, I just knew I needed protein for muscles. I didn't know anything about carbs. I knew I didn't want carbs because carbs make you fat. That's what my thought process was. So with that, what I did was I started looking around, and I said this was great. And I wanted to keep going. 310 pounds. I think I had everything going great. So I changed out my workout, and then I put on 5 pounds in about a week. And let me tell you, that switch flipped hard for me. This was shortly after I had joined Up With 1st Phorm's Transformation Challenge. So I was lucky enough to have that resource from those guys. After about 2 weeks, and I didn't see any drop, I reached out to them and said, "Hey, why am I working out and gaining weight?" Because that's basic. And what they told me was, it's actually very common, especially when you change a new workout. You're you're building muscle before you're going to lose the weight. They probably said it a lot more differently than I did, but that was how my brain took it in. It was just like, okay, you're going to gain before you lose. You're going to gain muscle before you lose the fat, because your body needs that muscle to metabolize, and you're changing your You're changing your concept of what you're doing, and you're doing something new, so your body has to adapt to that to build that muscle before you'll start seeing another drop again. So I hit week 4 in this workout, and it was an 8-week program I was doing. And I dropped back down to 310. And I thought, okay, cool, this is great. This is what I want to do. And then by the end of that 8-week rotation, I was down to 302. So I dropped about 30 pounds, maybe a little bit more. The reason I say over 330 pounds when I started was last time I weighed myself was when I was on when I came back from vacation. I was at 330 pounds. And that was just before the holidays. And, so we hadn't even hit Thanksgiving yet. I hadn't even hit Christmas yet. Of course, 2 of the biggest holidays of the year. All the cakes and pies and desserts and all the carbs. Oh. You go crazy. Even if you try not to, you still end up doing it. So I took what I was being told and translated into something I understood, and went with that, which really helped my psychological state. So I came back and I started dropping again, and I felt great. And I changed my workout, and I noticed I'd put on a couple of pounds, and I'd put on a couple of pounds for a couple of weeks and I'd come back down. So when my wife and I moved in together, we weren't even married yet, of course. I was at 268, and I thought that was great. I was feeling fantastic. It's the smallest I'd been since high school, since before high school, really, since my sophomore year of high school. And so I decided to switch up to a strength training program. So I did strength training for about 2 months, jumped up about almost 20 pounds. So I was back at 287 actually. So I was put on 19 pounds. Really messed with my head at the beginning of the year because that's not how I wanted to go into 2018. So all of 2017, I busted my ass to lose weight, put on muscle. I switched to a strength program, which is something I want to do. I want to get into strength training. But I realized at January 2nd that I could not accomplish both goals I had at the same time, which is to lose weight and gain strength, significant strength. So I decided to focus back on fat loss. So I'm back down to 280 since January 2nd. And of course, there's going to be some fluctuations. The downside is now, as I was 2 weeks into this workout, and I was doing great, and now I'm going through a shoulder issue. So I can't do any upper body workout for about 4 weeks, which sucks because I love doing upper body, but I guess it means more abs and leg days for me. So I'm going to try to update this on a more regular basis and put more videos out, just to have discussions. If you got any questions, comments, or you want, leave them below, and I'll talk about them next time.